couple of things here. Portfolio allocation for institutional investors. They're still in the dark ages. We talk about their traditional 60-40 allocation, but then you get some really progressive guys like CalPERS that says, okay, well, I'm actually going to use leverage on the 60-40 portfolio to enhance my returns. Like, what could possibly go wrong there, right, CalPERS? They need to enhance their returns because their assumed rate to pay their pension plan of 8% is impossible to achieve without levering up and making more risky their investments. Okay, you can't get 60-40 when bonds, 10-year bonds are at 1.5%. Okay, let's just rewrite mathematics. No, you're not going to do that. So the reality is, excuse me, that an institutional allocation to Bitcoin and to gold probably come out of a similar silo, if you will. And that's why Larry is trying to bring along and educate these dinosaurs in the pension world. I saw some comments go by that said, volatility doesn't hurt me or doesn't bother me. Okay, listen, you're not managing trillions of dollars of hedge fund money, of pension fund money. It bothers them. Even though it's wrong, they measure risk by volatility.
Yes.
Now, let me just make sure everyone understands math. This is volatility. This line going from the top left of my screen, I'm not sure. Okay, imagine I'm doing this properly. Top left to the bottom right with absolutely no volatility in it, has zero volatility, but you've lost all your money. Well, no risk, no volatility, but went from the top right to the bottom left. Wake up, you idiot fucking pension allocators. Learn some fucking math, okay? This is disgraceful, the way you measure risk. As Bill Miller says, rightly, volatility is the price of return. So right. Full stop. Volatility is the price of return. And just because a line goes straight down to the left and eventually goes to zero with no volatility does not mean you have no risk. Okay, let's look more at what a true portfolio allocation is. We're trying to get these guys off of zero. And Larry is out there doing great work. Why? Because they have always thought of gold as being their fiat hedge. And Bitcoin just happens to be a superior horse in the race. And this is really important. Larry was in New Orleans and gave a speech to the New Orleans Gold Conference, I guess. Larry, you correct me?
Yeah, the Gold Conference.
Okay. And by the way, it was friggin' awesome. And you cannot, I love Michael Saylor. You guys know that I got swallowed up in his vortex when we were on a Twitter Spaces together. The guy is brilliant. He's a walking mainframe computer. He's also got balls the size of a fucking gorilla, okay? And these pension allocators are not gorillas. You know what they are? They're tight little fucking sphincters that walk around and say, I don't want to take any risk because my job depends on me. If CalPERS says do it this way, then I'm going to do it this way because I'm the Pennsylvania Retirement Income Fund. And then Canada's CPPIB is going to look at CalPERS and say do it this way. It's coming, people, but you don't orange pill somebody to go from 0 to 100%. It just doesn't work that way. Now, I'm not saying don't manage your own portfolio that way. I don't manage my portfolio that way, but I hope you don't take issue with me as being a Bitcoin maxi. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. I try not to be toxic, but guess what? I do own other assets as well. It's just the way I work. And so Lawrence he's on our team, okay? He's on our team. We're rowing in the same direction. $10 trillion out of $900 trillion is a rounding error. If we're focusing on the crumbs, you're missing the big stack of bread, the loaf, the big pieces of slice, okay? And that's what we're going after.
Yeah, the whole notion that Bitcoiners need gold to fail or that Bitcoin is the enemy, it's just, that's, in my opinion, they're being short-sighted even to themselves. Because the gold people are the most natural and easy converts. Once gold people really understand this, they adopt it. I've adopted it. If you're smart and you do the math and you do the work, you come to the conclusion that Bitcoin's going to win. I mean, it's clear. That's not hard to do. I mean, I was at this gold show and we asked the question. I mean, everyone there, the average age there is probably 60 or 70. And so, they asked the question, how many of you guys, so they all own gold, you can be sure of that. How many of you guys own Bitcoin? Half the hands went up. They totally get it. I mean, it's happening, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's not happening in an instant. And some people, are going to be slow in adopting it, right? And so that's fine. I mean, let
Can
them
I
be
say,
slow.
here's the neat thing, and Larry, this is cool. So already I'm a bear now. So I'm a bear Foss going across. Look, guys, okay, I love you guys to death. I love you guys. Even my worst enemies on Bitcoin Twitter, I still love you. You got to read research that's counter to your thesis, okay? If you can guarantee me that Bitcoin's going to my price target, which is $2 million US per Bitcoin, then I'm going to be all in. Okay. Just guarantee me that. And I promise you, I'm going to put all my money in Bitcoin. But until then, go fuck off. Okay. You've never managed money. If I'm a bear Foss, then you can, I won't even go any further. I've probably,
it's going higher than that, Greg.
I know you are. Why am I so bearish? It has to go through 2 million first, though. It has to, doesn't it, Larry? That's just the way the world works. And once the information changes, then I'll adjust my price target. It's a target, not a limit, you fucking losers. Okay. I've had it with this. I am not a bear. I'm a realist in terms of managing risk. Right now, it's a rounding error. It's a rounding error, and you all are overthinking this, but it's still got to go through 100,000 before it gets to my price target. And if my price target's too low, so be it. I'll change my target when the information changes. And this is really important. Saylor started by dissing Bitcoin in 2013, didn't he, Larry?
I don't remember.
He said
that.
Bitcoin. Oh, sir, he did. Bitcoin was going to zero. Now, the good thing about Saylor is he actually learned to change his mind. He's not an idiot like Peter Schiff, okay?
Right,
the good thing is he changed his mind. And I applaud you, and I hope that Michael Saylor and I will sit down and have that one-on-one together that we said we would. I have no issue with him having balls the size of a gorilla. It's just you're not going to attract the Canada Pension Plan Investment Board by saying, you know what, Canada, now it's time to go 100% in. It just doesn't work that way.
Right. Well, the other thing is, I mean, I think that, you always you attract more bees with honey than, you attract more bees with honey than with vinegar. I mean, it's, again, the toxic maxis, I think, the have fun staying poor and, not going to make it, all that stuff. I mean, okay, fine. But, if you're really trying to help people, I think we should be explaining it to them, and we shouldn't, just because people don't get it. I mean, everybody comes to this slowly, and, everyone starts slowly, and eventually you get more and more orange pilled, right? I mean, you come to understand it better, and then your allocations go up. Of course, the price goes up. That helps your weighting go up, and you see what is certainly probably inevitable. But it's to suggest. I mean, in my view, to kind of suggest that if you're not 100% all in, and pounding the table and willing, I mean, I have people send me DMs. You're not my friend. You're my enemy. You hold that alternative asset, and I'm just like, to me, that just indicates enormous insecurity on their part, right?
The good thing is, Lawrence,
why do they feel like they have to try and pound it into my skull? I mean,
AKS 74S guaranteed me that Bitcoin's going to my price target of 2 million. So I'd like to buy insurance on that AKS 74S. Please tell me where I buy insurance on your policy that guarantees me that it goes there. Yeah. And then I'm gonna know. Okay.
Honestly, I think it's going much higher than 2 million.
I do. It's going through 2 million first, though, Larry. It's the way it works. It's the way it works.
The way it works. I mean, to me, the thing that's most interesting about Bitcoin. One thing I learned. I'm a professional money manager. One thing I learned in this last cycle was the value of networks and how much they grow. And I'd just like to give you an anecdote. I was looking at Google, and I was looking at Facebook, and I was looking at Amazon as they were growing in the early, 2010, 2011, 2012, and I could never get there. I just couldn't get there based on the price. I thought these things, yeah, they're good businesses, but they're just overvalued, period, full stop. I'm not going to buy them. What a mistake, because what I didn't fully understand with Metcalfe's law and the way that a network just sucks everything in its wake into it, and it doesn't grow in a regular historic, the way we were taught to analyze stocks and stock growth, it grows exponentially. And so I did see that. The first time I saw that actually was in the internet, and I got that. I invested heavily in the internet in 93, 4, and 5, but I didn't get it with the internet apps on top of it. But now I see the same thing happening again in Bitcoin, and it's a monster. And that's what I said in my speech. It's a monetary monster, and it's going to eat the world.